Welcome back to the channel. The topic I want to talk with everybody about today is why do I play Marvel Strike Force? Because I honestly have my ups and downs with, how I feel about the game. The last few days when the Red Star rework came out and essentially Ultron got a nerf because he doesn't have red stars has impacted a few different areas of the game that I've been focusing on, like Arena and other game modes where Ultron is just a little bit less important now. And that's the natural evolution, right? Where they're clearly moving away from the mixed hybrid teams of Ultron and Phoenix and three others, usually like Black Bolt and some others, in the meta, into cookie cutter metas with the Black Order coming, and that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm excited to have the Black Order in the game. That's going to be nice to eventually collect. For me, probably 10 months from now, I'll have a functional Black Order team. And, that's how I started the game, too. It was okay when I took a while to collect. I think I got in kind of a mode the way they released and made characters like Ultron and Phoenix available last year, which was available, like, per my playstyle, pretty quickly after their release. I was able to accomplish them, and I kind of rode that wave for a very long time. Well, we're shifting back to more of a meta that the game started with, and that means something to the way that I play. But what it doesn't make any difference is why I play, and I've really thought about that a lot in the last 2 days as I've been on my roller coaster about how I feel about it. So why I play comes down to two things. One is I'm just a gamer at heart. I usually play about one game at a time. Like, I played MMOs for a long time. I have a lot of different IPs that I love. So I played Star Wars: The Old Republic from its launch for a very long time, and Final Fantasy games before that. If they would ever make a great Star Wars game, Star Trek game, if they'd ever make a Star Trek game, I would play that too. But in lieu of that, until they have a great Star Trek game, the IP that really draws me is Marvel, and it's particularly the Fantastic Four, because that's probably the closest thing to Star Trek out there that's not just Star Trek. Now, the Star Wars Luminous that's coming later this year, I've already pre-ordered the books. Actually looks like they're going to have Star Wars boldly go where no one's gone before, like exploration. So that's kind of... Anyway, I just love the IP, the storytelling behind what's really behind this game, and that's the comics. So I got into Marvel in the 90s, I think, when the X-Men cartoon came out. Then I went to college. There were still lots of things going on there. That comic was those cartoons were going. Spider-Man cartoons came on. I actually got a bunch of friends that were comic book collectors, and they were collecting X-Men and Captain America, Iron Man. I was like, why do you like Iron Man? He's just wearing a suit of armor. Well, that was way before the MCU. But I found the Fantastic Four then and realized, wow, they're explorers, they're astronauts, and then something bad happened to them and they have these powers. Well, actually, in the most recent run in Point of Origin, you find out a lot more about how they got their powers and why, and it wasn't an accident. But for me, when I was in that phase of my life, it was great. It was storytelling about family and astronauts and everything. That was all that was in my head, was astronauts. In fact, my first job was at NASA. So I've moved on since then, but it's very close to my heart, and these characters are very dear to me. So now I've had periods of time where I do collect comics and don't. Marvel Strike Force brought me back to collecting, and I love it. And it's actually found me some really high value things to spend on, and has nothing to do with the game. It's these comic book subscriptions that are out there. So there's such a wide variety of comics that are available now that no matter what kind of characters, genre you like, you'll find some. Look at Cable here. He's surrounded by what looks like there's multiple man, right? It's one of our mutants. It's like multiple women. Interesting. Interesting concept with Cable there. And but what I found interesting is here's Doctor Doom's got a run going, and if you go online, you can subscribe to the comic runs for 45% off. Unfortunately, right now, and the benefit of Marvel Strike Force is none of these subscriptions are being delivered because our current health situation has shut down the distributor who distributes all comics everywhere. So I can't get to these, but I'm just explaining that this is why. And whenever they do begin to deliver again, I'm going to have quite a reading list that arrives. I'm excited. I signed up for Doctor Strange a while ago. I've gotten a little tired of that one. Obviously, Ghost Spider is the one that my kids enjoy the most. She's basically equivalent to Batgirl if you're a DC fan. Look at this Fantastic Four and what's coming. There's a Spider-Man. You never know which one anymore. It could be Miles. It could be Peter Parker. I actually think it's Miles. So we'll see what happens. This is Franklin, the most powerful character in the entire Marvel Universe, and his Brainiac sister, Valeria, and Wolverine? So, what? But this is going to be fun to learn about. And you can see here, for just $29, you'll get a full year's subscription. You know what you get for $29 in Marvel Strike Force? Maybe 1/8 of a character at release. You get 100% of this storyline over a year, an issue every month, where you get 1/8 of a character that you probably can't star up for another 8 or 9 months in Marvel Strike Force. So I love the characters in both spots, sometimes more and less accessible over time, but the character development and storytelling is in the comics. This will also, of course, in the MCU, which is fantastic, but it kind of has a different level of development and how quickly the stories come forward. I love the comics the most because there's always something here. Like, you could go in, find Marvel Zombies. Now, that's obviously not anything I'm interested in, but some people are very interested in that. Or Nonstop Spider-Man. You could just keep going on. Shang-Chi, I actually just signed up for this one today. It's a 5-issue run, getting ready for his movie in a year-ish. I forget it. I don't know exactly what's happened to the MCU schedule now, but that looks really interesting to me. There's going to be Star Wars Luminous comics that come out too. They can sign up for it. Of course, Marvel Strike Force doesn't cross over IPs like that, but it's fun. And, you know, it just goes on and on. There's so many different Venom here, who's now got Null's wings. Very cool. I'm really curious what that's about. And then back to the Fantastic Four and X-Men, focusing on Franklin being the most powerful character in the entire universe. So that's awesome. We can look forward to all these things coming to the game in the future. So, well, yeah, so I was explaining, why do I love it? I love the characters, and I love the stories. So this gives me some way to connect to it, even now when the distributor shut down and there are no comics being delivered anywhere. The stores are shut down. The comic deliveries to my house are shut down. I'm dying to get the last comic version of the Spider-Ham run. That guy's amazing, and it's hilarious, and I can read it with my kids, and we all have a good time. But that's the number one reason, is because I love the characters. Getting to the game is I love to be able to make progress and plan for goals. That's why my channel's called Milestones. So here, the milestones have just reset. I got plenty of gold I can spend, so come over here. I've collected plenty of well, I don't really like to see pop-ups in the game, but that's just part of it. They do have to monetize something. I don't blame them completely. So let's get Ghost Rider powered up for the shards that I collected from his pretty reasonable offer a week ago. Yeah, I got 5-star Ghost Rider now. I'd like to be able to farm him somewhere. I'm kind of surprised that we heard in Nexus is going to have Karnak and Thanos, but is not going to have a place where we can collect Ghost Rider. So where is he? He's like one of the longest in the game that has not been tagged as exclusively orb, but he's exclusively orb. Without the improved drop rate. Improved drop rate of 2%. I mean, improved. Yeah. I've got Crystal here. I've had a few drops of her in the Proxima Midnight event. Very few good drops of the Proxima in the Proxima Night event, but I got some Crystal here. So I can power them both up, and let's see if that gives me enough for my last 2 shards to also take Symbiote Spider-Man to 5-star. I think it might. Let's see. Oh, nope. I have not gotten a single shard yet. I've got to get another 225,000 spend, which can be done very quickly by upgrading Hela. She's one of my projects that's going right now, and I'm hoping that I can use her tomorrow in the ability match challenge that appeared to be bugged yesterday. I missed the bug because I came out quickly at the start of the day and autoed them. Had no idea there was a bug there, that you could just get to tier 12 because the characters are so low power. That was not nearly enough, I don't believe. Let's just check. Alright, I need one more. one more, it seems. Take her up a couple levels, and I will have a 5-star. So let's go ahead. Let's go up to 65. That's way past what I need. But still within my 1.825 million for today to maximize the number of Symbiote Spider-Man stars I can get. But yeah, I just love developing these characters and being able to use them in different places in the game. That's my happy place. And ooh, I'm already into 6664. All set there. And now I can 5-star Symbiote Spider-Man and begin to get him ready for his run on Dark Dimension 3. I'm very excited about that. I just have to get Black Bolt on the team and leveled up, and then my biomats will go into finishing off Symbiote Spider-Man and up into Gear Tier 14. So very excited about what I got to share with you in upgrading my roster. That's how I have fun. Like, I don't care where I land here in this rank. It doesn't make a huge difference. So whether I get 250 cores or 300 doesn't make a big difference. It doesn't make a big difference. Or even if I was down here making 150 cores or 100 cores, which I'm certain I could do over time, it doesn't make a big difference. What the point of this game is that I get to interact with these characters all the time. I get to do crazy, nutsy things like war that sometimes drives me bonkers. It's a little bit too much activity. Or 365 more days, or 366 more days since it's leap year, of raids. Why do you play Marvel Strike Force? Are there more reasons? Like, is it not just purely gamer or some kind of connect? If you are just because you're a gamer, tell me. Are there specific teams that are in the game now or that you'd like to see in the future that are why you pay attention to Marvel? Or particular movies that you like, or particular actors that really do the best they can to portray those characters in the MCU? What does it mean to you? Why do you play? Do you play to stay at the top of the leaderboard? That's cool too. That's why some people spend a lot, and I don't ding them for that. It's just not why I do. That's why I don't spend a lot, and I try to find strategies on how to maximize the fun in the game every single day, so I can keep coming back and have this little solace amidst all the chaos of the rest of my life. So I hope everyone has a great day. Stay healthy, stay happy, have fun gaming.